So this session is going to be about Cambridge and the Outer Hebrides. So as part of your topics on changing, economic world, it's important to compare two different places in the same country. So South Cambridgeshire has an increasing population. People are moving there. Mainly students are moving to this area. But the Outer Hebrides has the opposite problem. People aren't moving there. People are in fact leaving. So Cambridge and Cambridgeshire has an increasing population. The Outer Hebrides in North Scotland has a declining population. So, South Cambridgeshire has Cambridge in it, but it is still a rural area overall, and it's located in southeast England, okay, whereas the Outer Hebrides is obviously North Scotland. South Cambridgeshire is the most rural area surrounding Cambridge, but it obviously has the Cambridge Science Park. There's about 150,000 people living there, and this is 10 times less than somewhere like, for example, West Yorkshire. But it is increasing due to migration. People are moving to the area from abroad, but also from other parts of the UK. People have moved from Cambridge and other parts of the UK because of the good transport links. It's a good commuter region. People can live in the kind of rural, nice green area, but have access to the cities and towns around it, like Cambridge, because it's good for transport. People are also arriving from Eastern Europe. So the population is rapidly growing in recent times, mainly because of pull factors. So people want to go for the beautiful scenery. It's very good to retire there. It's quite quiet, but also, as I said, very good for commuting. In 2016, the region was named, for example, the 6th best place to live in the country. It's got good for health, life expectancy, earnings, number of leisure facilities, and pubs, restaurants, bars, sporting facilities. It's good to live in. It's estimated by 2031 the proportion of people aged over 65 is going to reach about 29%. So nearly 1 in 3 people living there are going to be, of a retirement age. That means there's going to be more demand on healthcare and housing, because people obviously use healthcare more as they're older. In terms of the Outer Hebrides, west coast of Scotland, on the Atlantic Ocean, and it's extremely remote. It's nearly 260 miles away from the capital, Edinburgh, and the population is declining. Younger people are moving away from this area, not to it. By 2039, the number of children ages 15 and below is going to fall by about 28%. So that's quite easy to remember when you're thinking about the percentages, because it's 29% for people in Cambridgeshire being over 65. The percentage of people is who are pensionable, so who are going to be older, is going to rise. So when I say the population is declining in the Outer Hebrides, that's true, but it's mainly true about younger people leaving the area, and actually some older people are moving there. There's like 33 shops on the Outer Hebrides, so people are very self-sufficient. They look after themselves. Farmers, clothing makers, and craft people make things on the island, stay on the island, and sell it on the island. But young people are moving away because there's not much going on. There's not many scope for being economically important. It's hard to run a successful, profitable business, and people do that when they're younger, when there's not many customers around. There's not much to go on. So this decline of people moving away and younger people going to better universities, younger people starting businesses further away, makes it inevitably harder for smaller businesses to run, because there's, again, less customers. Why would you open a small bar in the Outer Hebrides if people are leaving in their droves who are going to be your customers? Now, there's going to have social and economic impacts. Of course, bus services are going to be cut or cancelled because there's no people there to do it. They become unprofitable. Village schools are going to be closing because there's a lack of children in them if people are moving away and having families elsewhere. And the increase in elderly population as younger generations move inland could mean that family businesses start to dwindle and die. Now, obviously, this has economic effects too. Job losses occur as rural businesses, services close. So you're going to have job losses as well. Increasing costs of looking after the elderly population who may go into a home, for example, that becomes quite expensive. The older generations tend to spend their whole life on the island and run a family business like farming before giving it up and passing it down to the younger generation. But if they're not there, then they can't do that. they eventually retire, but because there's a declining younger population and there's less young people to take over, staff are often stretched and people have to work beyond retirement. And obviously with stretched staff, you're going to get price increases. So it's basically, long story short, the Outer Hebrides and South Cambridgeshire are two different regions in the UK experiencing two different types of population change. Okay? They are going through different changes because of the location where they are, because of what they offer, and because of what they don't offer. So it's good to compare two different places within the same country and how they're going to change socially, but also changing economic world, how they're going to change economically. Any questions, please hit the comments below. I'll see you soon.